I'll just spend a minute on the moms, because I really think the moms are the reason that the Democrats finally fell on the absurd mask mandates in the school, and in some cases the vax mandates in school, though ours still has one. Vax mandates right now at our schools, my boys' school, they will be expelled when they turn 16 if they don't have the dumbass vaccine that they don't need because they're kids. And this vaccine doesn't prevent the spread of Omicron, which is the dominant variant. So far, we have not recognized the science. We're more in line with Dr. Integrity's view of it all.
Right.
Okay. But the damage that was caused to our children, the day-to-day suffering that he won't do us the courtesy of even nodding to, is infuriating.
Yeah, I think you should ask your kids' school why they are so anti the CDC, because the CDC now says, of course, that the vaccine we should treat vaccinated and unvaccinated people the same way, which the three of us were arguing all along. I think it's going to do damage for a really long time. I think a lot of this is really just playing out right now. We have Dr. Leana Wen, who was a really severe COVID, crazy person. I don't know if I can't think of a nicer way to say that.
COVIDian.
Right now. Yeah, for sure. But she would go on CNN and she would say really insane things like we should, have vaccine passports for domestic travel. And now she's sort of reversed herself a little bit, and she's gotten mellower, and she's getting a ton of hate from the left. But yesterday, she posted that her child has speech delay issues due to masking. And which is, listen, we all knew that people were going to come around to that point of view because we know how children operate. We knew what was going to happen. But, Leana Wen is going to get her kid help. She's going to get her kid everything that kid needs. She's going to put him in speech therapy. She's going to get him all the assistance. I think about all the kids who listened to Leana Wen the whole time that she was super for masking and are not going to get that help. And, I think about all the people that I grew up with in Brooklyn and who just don't have those kinds of resources and don't have enough information to get their kids' speech pathology help when, this masking did so much damage to them. And I really hope that she understands that it was her who did this. It was her who forced this onto kids. And I wish all of them would face it and apologize. I'm glad she's coming around a little bit, but there's a long way to go.
But there's no mea culpa, right? There's no mea culpa, Bethany, from her, from Fauci, from Walensky, from Collins, from any of them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And what's so infuriating about the speech language pathology and all of those things is that people like Leana Wen and me, who can pay out of pocket for therapy that was unmasked and uninterrupted during COVID, which is what I did. I spent thousands of dollars on different therapies for one of my kids. And because of the guidance of people like Fauci, if not Fauci himself, kids who required this assistance, who were eligible for it from a public standpoint. So you can go to your county or your state. They're still on Zoom. They're still masked. I would love to see anyone try to do speech therapy with a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old on Zoom. It's just not a thing that you can do. And because of people like Fauci and everything that he advocated, kids are still suffering. Megyn, you talked about how your school still has a vaccine mandate. My local Jewish school still has, several of them still have vaccine mandates. So even if I wanted to send my kids to those schools, I couldn't if I wouldn't vaccinate them. And I had to pull my kids out of summer camp 2 weeks ago because they were mandatory masking. It was in a park. It was in a county and in a park that no longer have mask mandates, but they decided that the kids and only the kids in the summer camps had a mask mandate. So I would love to see a mea culpa, but I would also love to see people like Fauci and Leana Wen and all of these public health COVIDians step up and say, y'all, it's time to roll it back. We don't need to be living in 2020 anymore. And until these people stand up and tell these extremists to stand down, our kids are still going to be suffering.
Yeah, I'll say at our school. So my children, my boys are only 12 and 9, so they don't have to have it yet, but they can't go on field trips. They can't do certain sports. They can't do a bunch of things if they don't get the vaccine, even at this age, which is ridiculous. I mean, we have spent our summer right in the face of every other child in town, indoors, outdoors, as has almost all of America. And now we're going to go back to school and they can't go on a field trip. Why? Because they're going to sit on a bus, the same bus that's going to take them to school in the morning with the same kids where they don't have to wear a mask, where they don't have to be vaccinated. But then when they go on the field trip bus, They can't do it. I mean, this is absurd, right? They're holding on to they're clinging to Dr. Truth and his edicts. Even as you point out, the CDC has quietly moved away from the very things.
But that's the thing. They've quietly done so. And it's time for them to stand up and say what the prime minister, oh gosh, what country was it? It was Singapore. He recently stood up and said, the masks in schools have to come off. We cannot keep on telling people, well, it's optional, it's recommended, yada, yada. We have to be really honest about the costs of masking and the fact that it's time for this stuff to stop, or they're never going to stop. The vaccine mandates are never going to go away. The on and off masking in blue areas of this country are never going to go away. And I know that you have listeners who live in normal America, like where Carol lives in Florida.
Right. I was
where she lives now. Where she lives now.
Right. What are
she
you
fled
talking
New York
about?
for these reasons. Yeah.
But in blue America, where I reside, this is still going on. In August of 2022, I had to fight to get a refund because my children, on the first day of camp, they told them they had to mask. And I said, absolutely not.
No,
and they were
no.
flabbergasted that I could possibly object to them spending 6 hours a day inside at a music camp masked. And they said, well, the consolation is we're not requiring the vaccine. And I said, well, of course you're not. But that's not a consolation to these people because they're lunatics. And they are the ones who have the thank you, Anthony Fauci lawn signs on their front lawn. I swear to you people, I live in Montgomery County, Maryland, where this man resides. They exist. I see them on my way to Trader Joe's.
Do you ever wonder if your vitamins are working? Clinical studies show that Healthy Cell's new ingestible gel technology called microgel delivers maximum nutrient absorption, 165% more than tablets. It tastes great too. It's hard to make vitamin liquids or gels taste good naturally, but Healthy Cell products are the best tasting pill-free supplements on the market. Go pill-free and get up to 15 pills worth of nutrients in one ultra absorption gel pack, saving you money and time and giving you effective doses in the process. Take a single great tasting gel pack at home or on the go, and it's super great for travel, so you'd love that. And you can mix it into drinks or blend it into smoothies, what have you. Old-fashioned tablets, capsules, and powders contain synthetic other ingredients, such as binding glues, flow agents, don't want to know, fillers, coatings that could irritate your gut, and so on. You don't want it. Plus, it's made in the USA, so Healthy Cell is a good alternative. Go visit healthycell.com/Megyn. All right, that's going to get you the discount. healthycell.com/Megyn, or you can just use that code Megyn when you check out for 20% off your very first order. healthycell.com/Megyn. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.